BMX Bandits with Foggy.
Yep.
Could it really be we'll never be a we? And I'm just kidding myself on. Well, it might be true that my love for you can only find a life in these songs. Foggy, we're just friends, so don't feel bad when the evening ends. And I'll be coldly flip, I'll walk away and never turn to see. Are you looking back as I'm walking away? As I'm walking away. And all I want to do is spend the night with you. Spend the night with you. Sell Valentines in every store that we amble through. And sometimes I entertain a notion I might send that day to you in an unmarked card, so you never know. You won't have a clue that all I want to do is spend my life with you. Spend my life with you. 'Cause we're so foggy. Spend my life with you. We're so foggy. Spend my life with you. Could it really be we'll never be a we? And I'm just kidding myself on. Well, it might be true that my love for you can only find a life in these songs. 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 In these songs.
Crying a silent tear.
Douglas, don't cry. Do not cry.
Don't cry out loud.
It's funny because I think that you thought that something was going wrong at the beginning because Stuart's got such a light touch on that guitar.
Oh.
Well, actually, no, I had it muted, so it wasn't.
Oh, see, I'm always on the ball.
I know. I don't
Yep.
want you taking the blame for it.
I know what's going on
Up here.
everywhere. I hear the whole picture.
Listen, worse things happen at sea.
It's a good job it's not live.
No,
Yes.
it was wonderful. That doesn't matter. That's the beauty of live radio. You charge on and you got it right and it was brilliant.
And worse things happen at sea, like orcas eating mackerels.
Absolutely, and guitarists. These things do happen. So, Douglas, would you describe yourself as a hopeless romantic? And if so, how much of the emphasis needs to be on hopeless?
I would say the hopeless part is, at one point, probably the romantic was like 75% of the power and the hopeless was just a small bit. But now the emphasis would be a hopeless romantic.
No, but you are. I mean, you've got a beautiful way about you, mate. I have to say that, you know. And the songs, and don't get all coy with me. Yeah, and your songs just portray that completely.
Yeah, it's very much it's a strange thing. Yeah, I guess I have parents who were very, very much in love with each other their whole life and used to walk hand in hand after years of marriage, right up until the end. And my dad was a very shy fella, but would sing across the kitchen table to my mum. So it gave me this notion of how wonderful true love could be. And I think that, that's kind of inspired pretty much the way I see the world.
Well, that's a lovely thing. It really is. And how many kind of mean-spirited songs have you ever written, do you think?
I think there's 2.
Over how long?
About 34 years or something,
I think we should all clap, Douglas, at that point, really, don't you? That's just quite remarkable. That's a beautiful thing, and I'm not at all surprised.
Slightly poisoned, though, with those 2.
We're all allowed them. You've got to get them out of your system, mate.
Oh, yes.
OK, so I saw you just shouting loud on Twitter earlier on that you'd been out and bought a new kazoo.
Yeah, I had a kazoo that I got in 1985, which occasionally I did use other kazoos, but pretty much that was my main kazoo up until about a month ago, and I was practicing on a song that I wasn't even meant to be playing kazoo, and suddenly I felt the little bit of paper burst and no longer it would make a sound. So now I have a white kazoo, which I feel represents the ghost of the kazoo that's went to a better place.
So this will be a good indication of whether you're whether you're a sentimental kind of person, really. What did you do with the old kazoo?
I actually have kept it on my desk so I can look at it when I'm having my cornflakes and remember the wonderful times we shared.
That's the right answer. Thank you. If you had a stud on it and then all that nice stuff from before would have gone out the window.
I'm not like Pete Townsend with my kazoos.
You didn't set fire to it or anything?
No. What? It's getting scared. It's trying to run it. You'll be safe.
The ghost getting worried, isn't it? So, do you know, as I was coming in here today, I mean, I noticed it around about 2 weeks ago and I thought, I'm going to have to use that at some point, and I kind of forgotten. But in the next building to this one, there's a few life-size cutouts of the Muppets, and they've got the, what's it called, the hotel?
The Furchester Hotel.
The Furchester Hotel. So they're all life-size, and the Muppets in there are cardboard cutouts. So I thought, I'll do that with BMX Bandits. That'll be good. Came in. What bag have you got?
I've got a Sesame Street bag with me, and Kermit the Frog, one of my favourite singers of all time, as well as an all-round entertainer. In fact, Terence Trent D'Arby once said on a BBC Radio 1 session, he was in the studio, he said, he sounds a bit like Kermit the Frog. And I was chuffed when I was listening in.
Well, it's a compliment, obviously. Yeah, completely. Well, it will be online a little bit later on, but the photograph of myself and BMX Bandits and the Muppets, and it's a great shot, I have to say, absolutely brilliant. OK, so what about new material and recording of and the next album?
Yeah, I've started trying to kind of imagine songs and think an awful lot about. I tend to almost try and wander about singing songs to myself a lot, and then be kind of develop into things that I can take to some of my BMX Bandits chums. But hopefully, we'll start recording a new album, I would hope, in the nearish future. And also, I'm working on a sort of musical project in conjunction with, which will also involve some BMX Bandits and some other big name stars that I just can't name at this stage.
Talk about dangling a carrot.
But I've often thought of my life as being, and I say this quite a lot, it's like Douglas the Musical. I feel like I'm living in Douglas the Musical, and I've decided it's about time I brought that musical to life. I'll be synchronised swimming in it, I'll be dancing. Wow. And this is the truth. And Paul Fagan, who made the movie Where You're Meant to Be, is making a sort of movie in conjunction of the musical adventure. It might not actually be called Douglas the Musical because there are going to be other people involved. It's not all about me, just mostly.
I hope it is all about you, and I hope it is called Douglas the Musical, and I'll be going to see it whatever it is and wherever it is. So have you got any gigs coming up that you need to plug?
Yes, there's 2, and I don't know the exact dates, but one's
Durham, October the 6th. The old
Paul Kelly
old Laundrette in Durham, and there's the Lexington
in London
on, I think, the 6th or 7th of December.
Oh, good on you, Paul.
Paul's on the ball.
It usually is the bass player who knows all of the things that's happening with the band.
If Stuart was holding the bass right now, he would have been able to tell you that, but unfortunately he's got a guitar, so it went like a puff of smoke.
Didn't have a clue, did he? Well, we always smile from ear to ear when you come and play for us. It's been wonderful thus far, and it will continue to be so.